With big momentum for both companies and the industry in general, the stakes were high on August 24, '98, with every record targeted to be broken on the night with perhaps the biggest week in the history of the Monday competition. WCW already with the ball rolling with big mainstream exposure in the main event scene of Goldberg and both NWO factions clicking big, added another game changer with Warriors' return last week, with interest boosted across the board, with Thunder also drawing its joint highest rating ever during the week. After trailing the last 2 weeks, the WWF plans to respond with a mega show 6 days from the big Summerslam pay-per-view in a strong contender for the most stacked Raw broadcast in history. Hogan and Bischoff opened Nitro in front of a sold-out United Center in Chicago. Eric holding up a pen, responding to Eddie's work-shoot promo last week, saying how with this pen he controls anyone who either works or doesn't work for WCW, making references to running Vader and Mark Marrow out of the company. Hogan called out Goldberg, Warrior, and Page, hyping the War Games at Fall Brawl as well as the eventual rematch with Goldberg after it. 30 minutes later the Wolfpac came out for a promo with Nash calling out Goldberg after the last 2 weeks of him taking 2 spears. Nash said that if Goldberg wants to put their issues aside, he can team up with him tonight against Hogan and Giant, bringing out Goldberg, who accepted the challenge, setting up the big main event for tonight. WCW's first hour already indicated special interest, drawing a record 5.5 first-hour rating, with the last quarter of the hour doing a big 6.3, which, to put in perspective, was higher than any opposed or unopposed Raw segment ever. After months of build-up for the moment, Raw started hot with Kane and Undertaker coming out together for the first time, revealing their partnership. Vince McMahon on his 53rd birthday came out telling the audience that he told them so, hyping Taker now securing the title win Sunday with Kane on his side. Vince told Taker that someday Taker's gonna need his help, giving him until the end of the night to answer if he's a friend or foe. Paul Bearer came out with a strong promo trying to convince Kane to turn on Taker, leading to Kane turning and Taker attacking Bearer, bringing out Mankind, who got a double tombstone. Austin was out next, almost getting burned up on the entrance ramp, barely avoiding the fire explosion. Austin said that he knows he can't beat both Taker and Kane, which is why he's going to take out one of them tonight. WCW also started the head-to-head hour big with the return of Roddy Piper, coming out accepting Page's challenge to join Team WCW at Fall Brawl. The combined first quarter rating of 9.5 was the highest in history, with WCW taking a close lead with a 4.8 for the Piper-Page segment. Raw with probably the most stacked lineup in show history, starting with the Taker and Kane reveal, in addition to the Brawl for All final, the first ever worked Shamrock vs. Severn match, the Hell in a Cell teased above the ring for tonight, and 2 advertised Austin and Rock segments with Chyna promoted to call out Rock, and Austin promising to take out either Kane or Taker. Mankind got up from his stretcher, getting out of the ambulance and sliding down the ramp. Foley hyped the Cell match for tonight, saying that surely no one is stupid enough to get into this match after what happened last time, except him. Confirming Mankind vs. Kane in the Cell for later in the show and promising to climb to the top of the cage. WCW jumped big to a 5.4 rating for Luger vs. Adams, and Warrior's arrival and promo, starting the One Warrior Nation revolution. With WCW building to the possible reunion of the Horsemen for months, Ric Flair's name was still never mentioned once since the breakup in April, along with a legal dispute that followed. Vince McMahon, on a special appearance on the AOL chat on Thursday, was asked about the possibility of Flair jumping back to the WWF. Vince said that he would like to sign Flair but only when he's legally cleared to do it. This chat ended up memorable for a different reason, as just minutes into it, Due to an overload when trying to sign in, the server was frozen, leading to Vince typing to himself and burying AOL for the next 20 minutes in some comical exchanges. Kane and Mankind went over 7 minutes in a brutal Hell in a Cell match, with Foley taking a bump from the cage through the announce table, along with several stiff chair shots to the head and 2 tombstones, with Kane jumping over the top in the ring and both taking bumps into thumbtacks. When Kane had the match won after the second tombstone on a chair, Steve Austin came out from under the ring to attack Kane with Taker stuck outside as the Philadelphia crowd exploded. Austin hit Kane with big chair shots and stunners, as Taker climbs to the top of the cage to try to break through from the roof, ending up with Vince raising the cage to prevent Taker and Austin risking his main event, with Taker raised on top to the roof of the building in a big spectacle between the match and post-match. After a commercial break, Taker and Kane were in the ring, with Taker saying that before the night ends, Austin will face his destiny. The Hell in a Cell, going up against the End of Warriors promo, along with Harlem Heat's breakup with Stevie Ray later joining NWO Hollywood, gained big with over 1.4 million viewers to give Raw its first lead of the night with a 5.3. Moments later, Chyna came to the ring for the promoted confrontation with Rock. Rock was out next with the Nation following, saying that he knew it's a setup but he's always one step ahead, locking DX in a room backstage with a forklift in front of it. Rock hyped the ladder match in 6 days before putting on one of the best heat segments in show history with the Nation holding Chyna on her knees until Shawn Michaels made the save. The segment gained further, peaking the night for Raw with a 5.4 rating, making it 3 out of the last 4 weeks a segment with Rock draws Raw's highest quarter, 6 days before a significant career event at MSG Sunday. The entrances of WCW's main event started 17 minutes from the hour, with Raw's main event segment again targeted to start in the overrun. The tag match saw the crowd popping big for the first clash of Goldberg and Hogan since their title match in Atlanta, with Goldberg and Nash's angle continuing with Nash accidentally hitting Goldberg, ending up with a big brawl of all the teams in the War Games match hitting the ring to end the show. At the same time, Raw had the finals of the Brawl for All with Bradshaw vs heavy favorite Bart Gunn. While the tournament itself was a shoot, the background story behind the idea happened in line with the script. Bradshaw, known to be one of the loudest guys in the locker room, said he could take anyone in a shoot fight, giving head writer Vince Russo an idea to pitch to McMahon about testing the possibility of finding out. Bart Gunn, in a star-making performance during the entire tournament, ended up winning with a brutal knockout in the first round against Bradshaw, in the process also winning $75,000 with Bradshaw taking $25,000. WCW's Big Star Power Tag match gained huge with over 1.8 million viewers to a 6.5 rating, making it the 4th highest rated segment in history. As things stand, that meant that Hulk Hogan now holds the entire top 5 of the biggest numbers in Monday Night Wars history. The Warrior returned last week, the tag match this week, the Bash tag replay, the Savage match on April 20th and the Goldberg match on July 6th. With Goldberg having 2 on the list. WCW went a little less than 2 minutes past the top of the hour with the post-match brawl and WCW team run-in, and during that overrun jumped further with over 1 million viewers to a huge 7.4 rating. While can't be confirmed without full breakdowns of minute-by-minute ratings, the 7.4 rating was the highest peak rating ever recorded. Similar to last week's placement, Raw's SummerSlam Go Home segment started already in the overrun, going over 4 minutes unopposed, gaining over 2.5 million viewers from the over 8 million viewers WCW went off the air with, drawing a 6.1 overrun rating. The Druids came out carrying a casket to ringside, bringing out Undertaker for the final promo. Taker promised to win the title at SummerSlam, saying that Kane has other things to do Sunday and it's going to be Taker and Austin one-on-one. Vince came out for the friend or foe answer and got a chalk slam for it. Moments later Austin came out of the casket with Kane coming out from the same one, ending the show with the Ramp catching fire with the Highway to Hell song in the background to end one of the best build to any pay-per-view in history, with SummerSlam Sunday expected to break records. Raw, going all out with one of the best shows in history, drew a big increase from the week before with a 4.7 rating, but WCW with big momentum with Goldberg, Warrior and both NWO groups peaking, drew its highest ever competitive rating with a 5.2 rating. With the combined audience of both shows setting an all-time viewership milestone.